Today's video, I'm going to make a voice reveal about this video, why you will need to update to Windows 10. Here is it. Can you still use Windows 7? The answer is no.
What you guys got another video
is
here
because
for you. In this one we're going to
Windows
be taking a
7
look at can I still use
will
Windows
be
7
attacked
after
by most
2020
hackers
when Microsoft ends support on the
and
January
will
14th,
make
2020.
into a
You
cyber
will
attack
no longer receive
or
security
anything.
patches or service
So I
packs
commented
for Windows
already here.
updates for that operating system.
I
So
commented
does that
here.
mean you can still use Windows
Then
7
I need
after
the link
2020? And the short answer to that is
from
yes,
that,
you can.
because it's very
But
important.
the next
we will
answer
go
would
at,
be why would you want to?
we will
And it
gonna
would be
go at
super
here
risky to
after
do so. And then we're going to go through some
this
of the
introduction
reasons why
will
it's
start.
risky, and also going to take a look at some of the
it's
comments
already started.
on my last video when I've got a lot of sort of mixed bag of comments, some hatred, some trolls, also some people with questions, and I thought we'd go through and answer some. Or your ISP is using or using your phone or any of that sort of stuff. All that stuff is being data collected from you.
I'm playing
So
and I'm
that sort of
Filipino
thing
to.
that you'll think
Opo,
there is
Filipino po ako,
really
yeah.
sort of not good. You need to sort of move away from that
Okay,
sort of way
naman
of
po, meron
thinking.
po ako Facebook.
So let's move on to someone else's comment
Bali po,
here, which is
makinig
down
muna
the
po tayo
bottom
dito.
here, which was again on about collecting telemetry and stuff like that. Well, another thing I said here about you need to really get over the telemetry bit from Microsoft. Every company does it. So when you're doing it on YouTube, basically all what you're doing on YouTube, your comments.
Okay, that sometimes is going to be, this sounds is going to be messed in this game. Okay, I'm going to off it, the music.
It's collected, all that data is
And by the
collected,
way,
and they sort of
I know that
give you
Windows
suggested
7
videos and stuff like that.
is
So he's
very
posting on
useful.
YouTube and he's talking about telemetry.
Before this video comes out in my eyes, but I seem it is going to be very dangerous from others. I didn't know why.
Which doesn't
it is
make
so
sense to me.
dangerous. Very dangerous at all. You know guys, if you don't update your Windows in any versions, I'm surely you will get more viruses, and it may have more cyber attacks than it mostly like. But don't worry, I have CC cleaner I mean, and other virus cleaner for once. I'm very scared that all peoples in my country, especially in Philippines, I'm in my country also, that will not know about this report in Windows or Microsoft anyways.
And also you've got other things here.
So we will need to continue this video at once.
Like Google and the census records, which have been out since 1800s. They've been collecting data on you since that far back. You know, you've got your ISP that monitors everything you're doing online. Also TV companies, what you watch online. Your phone company to, you know, your call records and stuff like
sorry
that.
Sorry guys about that. I'll need to have another capture. Sorry for that. I need to get in here. Oops, I'm wrong. Sorry guys. Sorry about that. Here, okay. We need to
shopping
continue
online.
this.
You'll probably notice stuff like that when you go shopping online, all that sort of stuff. So that is basically data collecting. It's been going on for a very long time, so people blowing it all up out of proportion about the telemetry thing. And if you really feel that badly about it, then either go off grid or disconnect all
I'm
those
going to
services and
upgrade
stuff.
my
And there's
Windows now
plenty of stuff
quickly.
out there that does that.
Because
Another one here
this is
says
the
he will
problem
keep
of
using
myself.
his Windows 7.
I gonna explain this. This laptop, or the laptop I use, is from Windows 10 Pro. From Windows 10 Pro, I go to the registry for a reason. I tried to delete the framework.net or the .NET version because it slows down or makes the images in Windows 10 more slower. But I realize there are some reasons why framework.net is to be installed in the laptop or any computers you have. So I go in the registry and try to delete that stupid file, that .NET framework. In the trying of my own deletion of that framework, .NET framework, I've accidentally deleted one of the files of the registry. So I got into a blue screen or BSOD. So I researched it. What if you delete the registry? In this video. So after this stupid
How's it going, guys? I'm Theo Joe, and today's topic is the Windows registry. How's it going, guys? I'm Theo Joe, and today's topic is the Windows registry. Maybe you've heard of it. It's an extremely important part of the Windows operating system.
the comments here. Look at this. Look at this. These people don't know how important is the registry. There. Look at this. Anthony Gonzalez. It's the heart of the computer. If you delete it, you're dead. Absolutely dead computer. Yes. Absolutely. If you even delete one of the files of the System32, it will go in the BSOD screen also. So, don't do that. Because if you delete those things or deleted one of the files of the registry, you will get a blue screen. Or if your computer is still on like this, like this, it will have like Theo Joe's or this YouTuber right here. I've subscribed him.
And maybe you've either way, if you have any
Will
suggestions
be
for
like this. There, recovery. That thing.
your computer needs to be repaired, and that the boot directory.
So, you need is to reinstall your Windows version. What if the System32 also? There, again.
Ah yes, the infamous System32 virus that exists on all Windows PCs. Well, not really, obviously. We've all heard the joke that System32 is a virus to delete it, but it's actually a critical Windows directory. But what would happen if you did delete System32? Obviously, Windows would no longer be able to boot, but
There. No longer.
would you be able to recover it somehow? How much damage would it really do, even while you're deleting it and still running Windows? What would happen? Well, that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to do a real-life demonstration of what happens if you were to delete System32 on your computer. And quickly, before we do that, just...
Guys, I will show you the System32. And I will explain it. How System32 is very important. I don't know where's the System32. Okay. There. System32, gotcha. Okay guys. So this is the System32. There is it, your driver. Input in there because there's a reason. There. The important files. You won't delete it, or else you will get into a blue screen or anything else.
if you were trying to, unless you knew how to get around these things, you wouldn't have any worries about deleting System32 by mistake. But in this case, we really do want to delete System32. So what I'm going to do is kind of mess around with the permissions and give myself access. So at this point, we're now inside Windows, and I do actually have the permissions to delete pretty much all of the files. And there are still some weird safeguards in place and delete. If I try to delete everything in bulk, it kind of blocks me and just doesn't delete anything. So I'm going to try and delete large segments at once. And then you can see if I delete folders and DLLs, I get the occasional error message, but a lot of times it will let me do it, and they do get added to the recycle bin. And if you check in there, you can see quite a bit of things are getting deleted. So really, I'm pretty much just highlighting as much as I can in a large swath and deleting it. It seems to let me delete most of the DLLs and stuff, but the folders, it won't let me delete anything in it, because if there's one thing in there, it's kind of weird. Probably delete. I'm acting pretty weird. So you can see I can't really use the start menu. I try to click on things, it doesn't do anything. I open up menus and it's just blank, or it crashes. Stuff really isn't loading, random error messages all over the place, and even when I try to go reboot by clicking the start menu, the power button, nothing appears. So even without rebooting, the system is already basically broken. You can't launch the task manager. Everything's destroyed at this point. But Windows is at least still running. So what I'm going to do is manually reboot the virtual machine and see what happens afterwards. So I'll just reboot it now, and we can wait for it to load. And you can pretty much see it instantly tries to go into automatic repair. It knows right away that something's wrong and that Windows failed to boot. And it says diagnosing your computer. And it did so much damage. Look, right now it says automatic repair could not repair your PC.
Like that. It will be same as like the registry in the System32. If you delete, for example, if you didn't shut down your computer and remove the battery, for example, in your laptop or computer, maybe you disconnect your wires or anything. I didn't know in English again, because I'm very stupid in grammar sometimes. You will got into a blue screen or be trapped for many years, like mine. So that's why I don't trust repairmans sometimes. From now on, it is because the other repairmans in the Philippines, I mean, we're still using Windows 7 at all. Look at mine. I'm trying to update it and see.
And find a way to protect himself. The problem with that is
look at this For example, I'm keeping my Windows 7. I find a way to protect myself.
It's not what you can do
I agree,
here
I
with
subscribe to
Windows
you.
7. Installing an antivirus is not going to fix any sort of
Yes,
security
installing any antivirus won't work.
breaches or
I forgot
patches
that.
that are not on your system anymore, that are not getting patched. So if there's a hole there or a bug or something becomes open to the elements and someone finds that, they were going to breach that hole that's not been patched by Microsoft, because it won't be, because they're not going to give you any more updates, they're not going to give you any more service packs or any of that stuff. So basically that is it. So Windows 10 is going to be the last operating system that Microsoft Windows is going to be. So it's the end game basically. You either
The end gate there is Windows 10. Only Windows 10 is the end gate, or the last Windows version.
upgrade to Windows 10 at some point, or you stop using Windows altogether and go and use Linux, or you use Mac or Android or whatever it is you want to use, or don't use it at all and continue to use the older operating systems and put yourself at risk. It's just like, I don't know, it's like playing Russian roulette. So eventually something's going to go wrong, you know what I mean? And then everyone will start pointing the fingers at everyone else when it was your own choice. You've had 3 years to migrate your system over to a newer operating system, which is Windows 10. So why you would not want to do that?
By the way, guys, I have many save files in Windows 10, absolutely. And it is because it's been repaired.
You've still
Been
got
Windows
time.
10 and didn't save anything in the computer anyways. So bad, do you know, guys? So bad to repair the computer to repair the computer without any source of Windows 10 version or the same version you have.
You've got until January 14th 2020 to
Look at
safely
this video,
migrate
guys.
to
It will be freak you out, or will be freak you out very wisely at all.
a newer operating system which is more secure, and it's also going to be patched and updated on a regular basis. It's a no-brainer really. Stop worrying about it, just suck it up and upgrade. It's as simple as that. And we've got another one here from Edwin, basically posting it all over the place on the comment section. I can see here says he's been using Windows 7 for 9 years and he's also used Windows XP. It's so safe. I've used XP in 11 years. Well, if you're still using XP in 2019 then, and you haven't been infected, then I'll be surprised. It's so easy to infect Windows XP, and that's why the NHS system got hit by ransomware as well. So Windows XP basically has a 10 times the infection rate as Windows 7. As you can see here in this article, there's quite a massive amounts of infection rate for Windows XP.
Wow, that's
If you're
insane,
using
guys.
Windows XP, this is just sort of an idea of what the statistics are, and there's also other statistics out there which you can do your research on. Doesn't need me to do it for you, but I'll post a couple of things up here so you can see them. Probably the biggest one for XP users was the WannaCry that hit the NHS hospital system. Basically
Look, guys, cyber attack in Windows XP versions
that it crippled us.
Will be
92
will be more dangerous.
million pounds. Are you going to foot the bill when something like that happens? Of course you will, because it's going to happen and come out of your taxes. So if you're paying taxes and stuff like that, then don't come crying to me when you got to pay extra money because these things are happening to industries like banking and stuff like that. So it's a no-brainer really when you're getting hit with something like this. 200,000 computers locked out. It calls 200,000 to lock out users with a red letter error message. So something like this is not good, and it come from North Korea, so it cost the government quite a lot of money to fix this issue. probably would have been cheaper to upgrade to a more secure operating system at that time. So this is the thing, it's so easy to discard it thinking it's never going to happen to you, but eventually it does happen, and then everyone sort of complains, why didn't they upgrade, why didn't they do this? It's too late, you know. And as you can see
guys,
here,
it's too late.
the NHS has already this year signed a new deal to upgrade local NHS computers to Windows 10. Now, is Windows 10 more secure than the older operating systems? Of course it is. If you
Don't believe Windows 10 is very unsafe. Not safe at all. Because the rumors of Windows 10 is actually 100% fake. That's only how.
You take a look at this here, Windows 7, not XP, was the reason last week's WannaCry worm spread so wildly. This was in 2017. Windows 7 64
Look
edition.
guys, a worm.
60.535%. Look at Windows 10, 0.03. And that's from Kaspersky Labs. 8 days ago, WannaCry ransomware attacked more than 200,000 computers in 150 countries. The outbreak prompted infected hospitals to turn away patients and shut down computers in banks and telecoms. So basically,
Look guys, if you don't update, you're gonna see this. They will attack all hackers. I mean, hackers will attack all people who have using Windows 10, Windows 7, I mean still.
that is your bank where your money is and things like that. And if they're running old operating systems, you're going to trust that, are you, with all your hard-earned cash, all your savings? If that was gone and they can't pay you back, what are you going to do? So these are the things you have to consider. Your little bit of data on your computer is your responsibility, but the infrastructure of our industry and the world, and also it's people's savings, you know, everything is all on computers, so we've got to protect that. And using an old operating system because we love Windows 7 so much, or we love Windows XP so much, we don't want to give it up. That's just stupid. That really is stupid. It's not a good argument, to be honest.
Yes guys, that's not a good argument.
That 0 day for Windows 7 and Windows XP was so bad, and you can see here Microsoft Windows 10 Edge, so secure they don't need the anti-0 day shield anymore because it's more secure. It doesn't need it. So if you want to put yourself at risk by using those older operating systems, then do so, but you put yourself at risk. When you go to log in your bank one day, you may be shocked to find out all your money's gone. It's been transferred out because you wasn't clever enough to upgrade to an operating system that's more secure, and it's never gonna, and don't think it's never gonna happen to you because it
Guys, I have an example to you. Yeah, Linux, they were Windows 10 users upgraded to Linux because they didn't know how to customize Windows 10. I am a professional of this Windows 10 actually. Not too professional, but a bit of professional. I also use Windows 7. It also have fun a little bit for using the Java files. But the end of the day, in Windows 10 absolutely would not use the things of the Java files because of it.
can do, and it's possibly going to happen.
And supposedly, if you want to upgrade into any Linux version or Windows 10, or want to upgrade to Windows 10 quickly, do upgrade now or anything you can do. So if you weren't upgrading Windows 10 from 8 months from now, it was 8 months from now before upgrading Windows 10. 8 months before before upgrading to Windows 10. If you know how to count from dates, just count within your fingers or in your mental. Or count them using by dates like this: June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. It's all already 8 months or 7 months and a half. So if you weren't upgrading to Windows 10, that will happen.
Happen to someone that you know, or someone that's going to get hit by ransomware that you know. It's that bad. So in the future, it's not scaremongering and it's not trying to worry people. It's a fact. It's happened. It's not going to happen. It's already happened, and it will continue to happen, and it will get worse as years go on. When things aren't patched and things aren't updated, they'll become more and more and more vulnerable. It's like having a car that you don't maintain. If you don't maintain that car and you don't top it up with oil, and you don't do this and you don't do that and service it, you know, what's going to happen? It's going to break down and possibly blow up at some point. And it's the same thing with old computers. If you don't keep them up to date, they become vulnerable. So that's the way you need to look at things. This is not about I love Windows 7, I don't want to give it up. You've just got to, or keep it offline. Okay, we've got another one here from Arthur Baldwin. Basically says, how much was I paid for promoting Windows 10? Nothing, Arthur. It's your choice, you take it. You either use it or you don't. What are you going to do? Windows 10 is supposed to be the last operating system available. How long are you going to use Windows 7 for? How long are you going to use Windows XP for? You're going to continue to use those operating systems? No, of course you're not, because you're going to be vulnerable. That's like driving a car and never changing the tyres or changing the brakes and hoping that you don't have a blowout or the brakes don't fail. You're eventually going to have to do something. You've got to maintain stuff. You've got to move forward, and that's what you're doing. So that's my answer to that question right there. And yeah, it does have its problems. Windows 10 does have a few issues. Eventually they'll get ironed out, and they do frustrate me. But you know, at the end of the day, that's Windows. Windows has always been never been problem free. I don't think any operating system is going to be 100% problem free. Got another one here from David Robert Gibson. Thumbs down, no, stay with Windows 7. In IT for 31 years, and I've even multi-booted to Microsoft Windows 10, Windows 8 and Windows XP. No viruses, running Avast, MBAM, which is Malwarebytes, and Combo Fix. I don't think Combo Fix works in Windows 10 or Windows 8. I think it's just Windows XP and Windows 7. But yeah, it's old, Combo Fix. But again, you know, if you've been in Windows IT for 31 years, well, you're using Windows 10 right there, and you're using Windows 8. And you're saying stay in Windows 7. But that, you've got to understand, David Robert Gibson, you've got to understand that because you've never been infected doesn't mean that the masses won't get infected. If you've been in IT for 31 years, you would know, if you've had the volume of computers to repair, you would know that Windows 7 and Windows XP have been plagued with malware, rogues, ransomware, Trojans, you know, botnets and God knows what else over the years. It's just a real difficult thing to teach people to remove malware, and Windows 10 hasn't probably been eradicated 100% of malware, but it's reduced it by massive amounts. And if you ask any PC repair tech that does high volumes of computers, and he's doing high volumes of Windows 10 computers, he'll probably tell you that he doesn't do much malware removal for those, mainly junkware removal, which is your programs that are bundled in like OpenCandy and stuff like that.
Agreed with that. You need to agree with that. I didn't take these things because it is so real. 100% so real. I didn't even realize any viruses of that Windows 10 when I was using it as Windows 10 within this laptop. Didn't recognize any viruses. I also have sites, for example, Nitrom, that we were playing with I am playing with my young sister. I have a sister, as always. Look, this not secure as that, for example. That is also came up in that thing. But if I click one game, oh, still like that, which means it goes safe. I even realize Windows 7 is a bit of safe at all, but not at all really. And Windows 10 has more games than Windows 7. Look at the examples of it. Games of here, there. But in Windows 10, trust me, it has Xbox privileges or anything. You can play games more and more against the Android players and other users that uses those things at all. It's so funny that I played Asphalt 9 Legends as Alparingit Legend, but I miss it so much. I have even made a week's website about it, but in this case on mine, I'm very terrified why this is Windows 7 again. It is useful, but it will not be useful at all. A big problem, and you need to face the consequences of the reality. If you didn't still believe it, I am surely don't like this video at all. If you don't believe it, let's see how can your system and your whole Windows 7 system will crash about those alarming things all about from it. It may crash at all. So you need to be worried about that. It is so very dangerous to be still in Windows 7 and Windows XP. I know you love it. I know I love Windows 7 at all, but I can assure you guys, in my channel, absolutely, in my old computer, I have older videos about that computer. This one, I think this is one, but not at all. But this one absolutely, and four of these videos are in my old computer. Even this one, just a significant example. This is in my old laptop upstairs that I was using still in Windows 7. that, guys, in Blender. Example only. I can add too much, but it's so good. This is it. The old thing. That's my old thing. And this is Windows 7 in the old laptop I've been using upstairs. That happens. That already happens to me. So, don't try to download Java or the things that can make cause more virus. So boring. Like, if you are only one in this, for example, I'm bored. I'm very bored. I'm super bored. I don't know how I am very bored at now. Hehehe. Look at this. I will play Gun My Hem. I'm going to fight AIs. I'm going to get fun of them at all. I want blue. I absolutely like blue. Okay, guys. I need to go in these things. Custom no. Controls and settings. On, off, quality low, and change these stupid controls. And game. Okay, this will be too loud, and I will play at least one game. This will be cannot kill me. Oh my God. I think we're gonna end this video. Bye, guys.